Find your inner balance, Buddha's wisdom for mental peace in the 21st century. In the whirlwind of the modern world, where stress and anxiety seem to be constant companions, we yearn for an inner refuge, a space of peace and serenity. Today, we will embark on a profound exploration into the ancient wisdom of Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, a prince who courageously renounced opulence to seek answers to the fundamental questions of human suffering. Together, we will explore how his timeless teachings can serve as a guiding light, leading us towards inner balance, an inexhaustible and deeply personal source of well-being and mental strength, offering solace amidst the daily chaos that often surrounds us. Prepare yourself for a transformative journey of self-discovery, where we will carefully unravel the core concepts of Buddhism, not as abstract philosophies, but as practical tools to be applied directly to our daily lives. Through this exploration, we will uncover how to cultivate and sustain that elusive point of balance within ourselves, a center of calm that empowers us to navigate the unpredictable waves of life with significantly greater calm, enhanced clarity of mind, and a renewed sense of purpose. Who was Buddha, and why does his message resonate today? Siddhartha Gautama, known as Buddha, was not a divine being nor a mystical prophet, but rather, and perhaps more profoundly, a human being, fundamentally just like you and me. Born in the 6th century before Common Era in the heart of India, he entered the world into the embrace of a noble family, accustomed to privilege and comfort. Imagine, if you will, a young prince, practically swathed in silks and adorned with jewels, with a retinue of servants meticulously attending to his every conceivable need. Yet even within this gilded cage of luxury, Siddhartha felt a deep and persistent unease, a nagging sense that something essential was missing. Driven by this inner questioning, he made a pivotal decision. He ventured outside the protective and isolating walls of his palace. For the first time, he directly witnessed the unvarnished realities of old age, the debilitating effects of illness, and the stark finality of death. This wasn't abstract suffering recounted in stories. He confronted it directly, witnessing its impact in the weary eyes and etched faces of real people. This profoundly moving awakening, born from witnessing human suffering in its rawest forms, old age, chronic illness, and inevitable death, became the catalyst that irrevocably changed his life's trajectory. This powerful experience served as the driving force that propelled him to resolutely abandon his palatial life of comfort and embark on an intense and unwavering spiritual quest. His sole aim was to deeply understand the very root causes of human suffering, and more importantly, to discover and articulate a clear and accessible path to genuine liberation from that suffering. After years dedicated to rigorous meditation and disciplined asceticism, pushing the boundaries of his mind and body to their absolute limits in pursuit of enlightenment, Siddhartha finally attained a profound awakening under the shade of a Bodhi tree, a moment of transformative realization that led him to become known as Buddha, the Awakened One. Imagine this as a moment of unparalleled clarity, akin to when the final, crucial puzzle piece finally clicks perfectly into place, completing a complex picture, but magnified onto a cosmic scale encompassing the entirety of existence. From that singular life-altering moment onward, he wholeheartedly dedicated his life to sharing his hard-won discoveries and insights with the world. He presented these not as rigid religious dogmas demanding blind faith, but rather as a practical, adaptable path accessible to all, designed to cultivate inner peace, foster genuine happiness, and ultimately alleviate suffering. For decades, he walked tirelessly across the diverse landscapes of India, teaching anyone who would genuinely listen, transcending societal barriers and offering his wisdom irrespective of their social standing, caste, or background. Why does Buddha's message continue to resonate with such profound strength and relevance, particularly in the fast-paced, often overwhelming 21st century? In our increasingly hyper-connected world, constantly bombarded with relentless stimuli and ever-escalating demands, Buddha's ancient wisdom emerges as a potent and much-needed antidote to the pervasive anxieties, chronic stress, and the unsettling feeling of existential emptiness that plagues so many in modern life. Just consider for a moment the constant, unrelenting barrage of digital notifications vying for our attention, the omnipresent societal pressure to relentlessly pursue success as narrowly defined, and the meticulously curated, often unattainable perfection relentlessly showcased across social media platforms. These distinctly modern pressures, largely apps, Buddha, through his profound enlightenment, articulated a fundamental truth about the nature of existence. Life, in its very essence, is inherently characterized by impermanence and, ultimately, a degree of unsatisfactoriness. While this initial premise might sound inherently pessimistic to the untrained ear, it is, in fact, a deeply realistic and profoundly liberating observation about the fundamental conditions of human existence. Consider the cyclical nature of life itself. Everything is in a constant state of flux. Joy inevitably transforms into sorrow. Vibrant health can unexpectedly give way to sickness, and moments of resounding success can, and often do, eventually transition into periods of perceived failure or setback. The pervasive human tendency to rigidly cling to the fleeting notion that everything in life should forces locked in perpetual conflict, but rather as complementary aspects of a unified whole, deeply interconnected and fundamentally interdependent, each requiring the other for complete and meaningful existence. Therefore, cultivating Buddhist balance is decidedly not about attempting to repress the full spectrum of our human emotions, nor is it about engaging in a futile denial of the multifaceted and often challenging nature of reality itself. Instead, it is fundamentally about diligently practicing the art of observing our emotions and experiences with a profound sense of equanimity, meaning with a balanced and even-minded perspective, consciously cultivating an attitude of non-judgmental awareness and, crucially, without succumbing to the detrimental forces of rigid attachment or aversive resistance. Imagine, if you will, the simple act of peacefully watching clouds gracefully float across the vast expanse of the sky. As you observe this natural phenomenon, you likely do not feel compelled to rigidly cling to the white, fluffy, aesthetically pleasing clouds, desperately wishing them to remain static and unchanging in their form and position. Conversely, you probably do not actively attempt to forcefully push away the darker, more ominous-looking stormy clouds, resisting their inevitable presence in the ever-shifting sky. Instead, in a state of mindful awareness, you simply observe the clouds as they naturally are, accepting their transient nature and knowing with inherent certainty that regardless of their current form or intensity, they will inevitably pass, gracefully making way for new formations and ever-changing atmospheric conditions. This same principle of detached, non-judgmental observation and acceptance can be powerfully applied to our internal landscape of emotions and experiences. Just as a deeply rooted tree gracefully sways and subtly bends in response to the powerful gusts of wind, yet steadfastly maintains its deeply anchored center and unwavering stability, we, too, through consistent practice and cultivated awareness, can learn to consciously maintain our own resilient inner center, a source of unwavering calm and equilibrium, even when the external circumstances of our lives become turbulent, unpredictable, and seemingly overwhelming. Buddhist balance is not static but dynamic. It is a continuous process of adjustment and adaptation. It involves cultivating mental flexibility, compassion towards ourselves and others, and wisdom to discern what is truly important in each moment. It's like adjusting the sails of a boat. You constantly adapt to the changing winds and currents to stay on course. It is an art of navigating life's waves with grace and resilience. Every morning we are born again, awakening to the freshness of the present. One of the most powerful viral quotes attributed to Buddha is, "Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most." This phrase encapsulates the essence of living in the present, a fundamental pillar for achieving inner balance. It's a call to wake up to the potential of each new day. What does born again every morning mean? It means letting go of the past with its regrets and burdens, and releasing anxiety about the future with its uncertainties and expectations. Think about waking up after a night's sleep. You have a fresh start, a clean slate. Each new day is a fresh opportunity, a blank page to write a new story. It's not about erasing your history, but about not letting it dictate your present moment. The past no longer exists. It is just a memory. You can't change yesterday's mistakes or relive yesterday's joys. The future has not yet arrived. It is just a possibility. Worrying about what might happen steals your energy from what is happening now. The only real moment, the only moment where we can act and transform our experience is now. When we anchor ourselves in the present, we release mental energy that was previously consumed in ruminations of the past or future worries. Imagine trying to walk forward while constantly looking backward. You're likely to stumble. Focusing on the present is like looking straight ahead, allowing you to move forward with clarity and purpose. Living in the present does not mean ignoring the past or giving up planning for the future. It means learning from past experiences without getting trapped in them and setting goals for the future without letting anxiety paralyze us. It's about finding a healthy relationship with time, acknowledging the past and future without being controlled by them. It means savoring every moment, appreciating the little things, and recognizing the beauty and opportunity hidden in every new beginning. Think of enjoying a delicious meal. You wouldn't rush through it while worrying about dinner tomorrow or regretting what you ate for breakfast. You savor each bite in the present moment. Upon waking up each morning, we can renew our intention to live consciously, to cultivate kindness, compassion, and wisdom in our actions. It's like setting an intention for the day, like choosing a direction for your journey. We can choose how we want to live this new day, what kind of energy we want to radiate into the world. Will we choose kindness or anger, patience or frustration? In this sense, what we do today, our choices and actions in the present, are what truly matter, because they build our future and define our experience of the now. Your present actions are the seeds you plant for your future harvest. Practical applications to find balance in daily life. Buddha's philosophy is not just theory, but a practical guide to transform our daily lives. Here are some concrete applications to cultivate inner balance in your day-to-day. 1. Mindfulness or present moment. Awareness. Dedicate a few minutes each day to mindfulness meditation. You don't need to sit in a lotus position for hours. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Find a quiet space, close your eyes gently, and focus on your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Observe your breathing, your bodily sensations, your thoughts and emotions without judging them, simply as an impartial observer. If your mind wanders, gently guide it back to your breath. This will help you connect with the present, calm the mind, and develop equanimity. You can start with short guided meditations using apps or online resources and gradually increase the time as you become more comfortable. Think of it as training your attention muscle, making it stronger and more focused. 2. Conscious observation of emotions. When an intense emotion arises, such as anger, sadness, or anxiety, do not repress it or let yourself be carried away by it. Instead of immediately reacting, yelling in anger, withdrawing in sadness, or panicking in anxiety, pause. Take a breath. Instead of reacting impulsively, observe the emotion as a fleeting phenomenon. It's like watching a wave rise and fall in the ocean. Ask yourself, where do I feel this emotion in my body? Is my chest tight? Are my shoulders tense? What thoughts accompany it? Is my mind racing? Am I telling myself a story about the situation? By observing the emotion without judgment, you diminish its power over you and regain balance. You create space between the emotion and your reaction, allowing for a more thoughtful response. For example, if you feel anger rising instead of lashing out, you might observe the physical sensations of anger, heat in your face, clenched fists, and simply acknowledge, anger is here. This simple act of observation can diffuse its intensity. 3. Cultivate gratitude. Each day, take a moment to recognize and appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. It could be the warmth of the sun, a kind word from a friend, a delicious cup of coffee, or simply having a roof over your head. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, reducing the feeling of lack and increasing satisfaction. It's like changing your glasses and seeing the world in a more positive light. You can keep a gratitude journal, writing down 3 to 5 things you are grateful for each day, or simply reflect on it before sleeping. Sharing your gratitude with others can also amplify its positive effects. Practice compassion. Extend compassion towards yourself and towards others. Recognize that all human beings experience suffering and desire to be happy. Just like you, everyone else wants to be free from pain and find joy. When you face difficulty, be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the same understanding and care you would offer a friend in need. When you interact with others, try to understand their perspective and act with empathy. Even when someone acts in a way you don't agree with, try to see the situation from their point of view, considering their potential struggles and motivations. Compassion connects hearts and dissolves isolation. It builds bridges of understanding and kindness in a world that can often feel disconnected. 5. Simplify and slow down. As much as possible, simplify your life. In our busy modern lives, we often accumulate unnecessary possessions and commitments, leading to overwhelm. Reduce unnecessary consumption, disconnect from screens from time to time. Turn off notifications, put your phone away for periods, and be present with your surroundings. Dedicate time to activities that nourish you and connect you with nature. Go for a walk in a park, listen to birdsong, watch a sunset. Slowing down the pace allows us to appreciate the present and reduce stress. It's about choosing quality over quantity and presence over busyness. Overcoming challenges to balance, acceptance, and resilience. The path to inner balance is not linear or without challenges. It's not a destination you reach and then stay at permanently. There will be moments of imbalance, difficulty, and suffering. Life inevitably throws curveballs. The key is not to avoid these moments, because avoidance is impossible, but how we face them. Acceptance does not mean passive resignation, but recognizing reality as it is, without resistance. It's not about liking or approving of difficult situations, but acknowledging their presence. Imagine being stuck in traffic. You can fight it, get angry, honk your horn, and increase your stress. Or you can accept that you are in traffic, use the time to listen to music or a podcast, and choose a calmer response. Accepting that pain and difficulty are part of life frees us from the constant struggle against the inevitable and allows us to focus our energy on what we can change, our attitude, and our response to circumstances. Resilience is the ability to recover from adversity, to learn from difficult experiences, and to emerge stronger. Think of a bamboo tree. It bends in the wind, but it doesn't break. It is cultivated through self-compassion, social connection, the search for meaning, and a positive perspective. When facing setbacks, remember to be kind to yourself. Reach out to supportive friends and family. Try to find a lesson or purpose in the experience and maintain hope for the future. When we develop resilience, imbalance becomes an opportunity to grow and learn. Challenges can become catalysts for inner strength and wisdom. Remember, inner balance is not a final destination, but a continuous journey. There will be easier days and more difficult days. There will be times when you feel centered and peaceful, and times when you feel overwhelmed and out of sorts. The important thing is to maintain the intention, practice consistently, and remember Buddha's wisdom. Every morning, we are born again, and what we do today, in this present moment, is what really matters to build our inner peace and well-being. It's about progress, not perfection. Conclusion and call to action. In this video, we have explored Buddha's profound wisdom on inner balance and how to apply it to our modern lives. We have discovered that balance is not perfection, but dynamic harmony, that living in the present is key to mental peace, and that the constant practice of mindfulness, compassion, and acceptance strengthens us on the path. I invite you to reflect on these teachings and to experiment with the practices we have shared. Start today, dedicating a few minutes to meditation, observing your emotions consciously, or expressing gratitude for the little things. Remember, every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your inner balance. If this video has inspired you, share it with someone who could benefit from this message. And if you want to continue exploring topics of well-being and philosophy, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next videos. May you find peace and balance on your path.